I just finished watching Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max, and it was a fun ride. But there's more to the show than pirates being silly. There's a very relatable journey within the walls of those pirate ships. It's a story about authenticity, self-denial, and identity. Let's peel back the sail to see what we can learn from Blackbeard and the Gentleman Pirate and how we can apply those lessons to our lives. Welcome to Inner Warrior, where I help pop culture fans with tips and tools to unleash your inner warrior and achieve your goals. Stede Bonnet was bored of his monotonous life and wanted adventure. And he wanted to prove to himself that he wasn't just a weak-hearted, soft-handed, lily-livered little rich boy. In doing so, he drastically upended his life and sailed the seas as a pirate. Edward Teach was the flip side of the coin. He was poor and looked up to high society. He decided to be a pirate to gain the riches he felt he deserved. But even though he had riches from his plundering, he never got to experience that rich life he sought. Throughout the show, everyone tries to tell Stede that he isn't cut out for the pirating life, which the Gentleman Pirate sees as an external manifestation of his inner turmoil. He's trying to escape that feeling and identity of being a soft, weak, rich boy, but his crew constantly reinforces it. It's not until Blackbeard comes around that someone actually gives him a chance as a pirate. Blackbeard reinforces his pirate identity, the identity Stede sees as his true self, which is why Stede falls for Edward Teach. Edward, on the other hand, finally gets to express a side to himself he couldn't as Blackbeard. Edward, as a child, wanted the life that Stede had growing up, but was forced to be something he felt he isn't. Even as a child, he had to murder his father to protect his mother. But now, with Stede, Edward was able to live that rich life, even if it was on a ship. Notice how their childhoods and the people in them shaped who they are and who they wanted to be, but it also created self-deceptions. They deny or struggle with who they truly want to be because of people outside of themselves. An article published in the Annals of New York Academy of Science looks at self-deception and why we even have it as a species. The article explains self-deception as the active misrepresentation of reality to the conscious mind. Basically, our subconscious changing the way we think or view ourselves and the world around us. The article goes on to explain that the only benefit in misrepresenting reality to ourselves is in our interactions with others. The article goes on to say that parental or group internal voices, like those of Stede's father calling him weak-hearted or Edward's mother telling Edward that they don't belong in a world of the rich, conflict with their own internal voices, which can cause this misrepresentation of reality. Stede and Edward's internal conflict based on their parents' voices and their own wants and needs caused them both to struggle with their identity. Because we are social creatures, we often find ourselves in conflict with what we want and the interests of others. These self-deceptions that arise can cause self-denying prophecies. According to a study published in the journal Psychology, Interdisciplinary and Applied, self-denying prophecies shift people's behavior in the direction opposite of the prophecy. This is essentially the tool Stede used to go from weak, rich boy to pirating adventurer. He saw what he didn't want to be and took actions to become the exact opposite. If Stede and Edward were more authentic to themselves, they'd both experience healthier psychological functioning and life satisfaction. That's according to a study published by Clayton State University, which stated that their findings indicate that authenticity is related to feelings of self-worth that are not only more positive, but that are more secure as well, i.e. less contingent on specific outcomes. The current findings also indicate that greater self-reported authenticity is related to the frequency of experiencing negative emotions, i.e. less net negative effect, as well as more global appraisals of individuals' perceived satisfaction in life, i.e. more life satisfaction. Taken as a whole, these findings provide empirical support for the contention that authenticity is related to healthy psychological functioning and positive subjective well-being. So, to be authentic, Stede and Edward need feelings of positive self-worth and security, as in their worth shouldn't be tied to something outside of themselves like a crew or a ship. Their positive view of themselves and their worth would not only allow them to be more authentic, but it will lower the amount of negative emotions they have while also increasing their satisfaction with life. So it's important for us too to work on our self-worth, be more authentic to ourselves, and leave the inner voices of parents, society, or loved ones outside of our heads so we can listen to our own inner voice. Have you watched Our Flag Means Death? What did you think of the show? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to learn more about how our minds create our reality, click here.